The Commission for Gender Equality is calling on churches to support flood victims with counselling in KwaZulu-Natal. In fact, the organization itself is currently on a 4-day visit to parts of eThekwini, while some of the officials, we're told, are in the Eastern Cape, which is another place that's been hit hard by some of the floods. Let's get you more on the story now. Bring in the Commission's Nomasonto Mazibuko, who's live to us via our telephone line this morning. And Mazibuko, it's great to have you on the program. Thank you so much for making time. Help us understand how you envision this counselling to take place in a context where we know, A, many of the victims of these floods are still displaced, and B, they stay in communal spaces. We know counselling, for it to be effective, needs to happen with some kind of privacy. Ma'am Nomasonto, are you able to hear us? All right, it appears we have a problem with our connection to Nomasonto Mazibuko. It's an important conversation, especially because there's been a lot of focus given to providing for the material needs of people who've been hardest hit by the floods in KwaZulu-Natal. And don't get me wrong, that certainly does have its place. People will tell you about Maslow's pyramid of needs, about needing to take care of people's food, your shelter, the sense of safety. But now that, you know, the story has kind of moved forward, the dust, so to speak, has settled, there's a whole lot more focus on taking care of the psychological well-being of people who have their lives literally turned upside down in just a matter of days, given just the scale of the calamity that we saw in KwaZulu-Natal. But the question still remains about whether or not the counselling can take place, given the many problems that people still face. And I'm told Nomasonto Mazibuko is now back with us. I hope you can hear us, ma'am. The question I was asking to you earlier is, how do you see the counselling in KwaZulu-Natal actually taking place when people are still living in communal spaces?
Hey, good morning, Ayanda, and good morning to your viewers. I'm sorry, I just missed the call. I think the counseling is not very good, Ayanda, especially that people are sitting at the hall and still very disturbed and devastated.
Yeah, and in that context, how can the counseling actually be rolled out? Because I think we all agree that there needs to be some kind of psychological assistance.
I think social development has come up with a plan that every shelter have got 1 or 2 social workers, and then as they sit throughout the day, they go on counseling people. But I think what we would suggest as CGE is that more spiritual upliftment is needed. To all the 3 shelters that we've gone through, we have not met a spiritual leader. And when you come there, you really feel that somebody needs to sit down and talk to somebody. I was speaking to Lucy from Inanda, who is using a wheelchair. When I spoke to Melis said to me, "Hey, Ma'am Nomasonto, after talking to you, I really feel and I appreciate the condolences that you have given me." And our conversation was more like a person who is disabled looking forward to speaking to someone who's also disabled. So I think the counseling part of it must be beefed up. We need more social workers. We need more people going there, even if we are not going to give counseling, but talking to people and trying to get them skills or occupy them during the day, because when the sun rises, they look forward to seeing some change. So I think besides counseling, we need to go there, give people skills, talk to people. That will all bring them back, and especially for the children. At the shelters, there are no toys, even a ball. Ayanda would do the counseling, somebody who will come to talk to them, to play with them. Other shelters, children go to school. When they come back, they still come to this shelter.
Right.
That is very empty to them.
Absolutely. Certainly get a sense that there's still so much assistance that can be given in a context where already so much attention has been given to the story. Thanks for your take. Appreciate it. Nomasonto Mazibuko is a commissioner with the Commission for Gender Equality once again. Thanks very much indeed.